So we're at Damery on the Little Avon. We're about to undertake our monthly kick sampling in 2 locations on this river. We do this to monitor the insect life. So we're looking for 7 main insects that are most susceptible to pollution. So we sort of keep an eye on these, and then we can report it to the EA and other authorities should we not find what we're looking for. With the numbers that we get, we have trigger points, and we will report these to Bristol and Avon River Trust, EA, and the other partners that we work with. And then we can all sort of tackle this, any issues together. When we get to the river, we look at the condition of the river. Before we go in, we'll do a risk assessment to make sure that it's safe for us to go in, and we always do this in pairs. Once we're happy with that, then we get stuck into it.
Okay. So we're going to start off by taking air and water temperatures, having already looked at the water gauge on the other side of Damery Bridge, although quite how effective that is to this water depth I'm not quite sure. Air temperature
7.2 water temperature.
Okay, that's 8.5 air temperature. And then you get a bit of water in the bucket.
Is that your
Thank you. Okay, so that's our sample bucket. Now Gareth's got to go off and get some samples, and I'll time his kicking.
So we're going to kick now for 3 minutes, and we're going to start sort of over there, work our way across the river, and get us. There's differences within the riverbed, so we're going to cover all of the areas across to get a sort of a representative sample of the insects that are hopefully there.
Okay, ready, Gareth?
So all I'm doing here is getting my sort of toe, my foot in sort of sideways, getting it under rocks, flicking the rocks up. Any insects underneath them will hopefully flow into the net, and then we'll see what we got when we finished our 3 minutes kicking.
Coming up, Gareth. 3, 2, 1. That's your 3 minutes.
So that's our 3 minutes kicking done. So we've made it safely to the side now, and just taking out the bigger rocks, sort of washing them having a look and then washing them off. So if there is anything stuck to the, clinging to the stone, the rocks, it falls into the net. We did have a case caddis on one of the rocks, but that's just sort of fallen off. These smaller ones are quite clean. Right, so we're now going to tip our find into our bucket. So after putting the contents of the kick sampling into the bucket, we just have a look through the net to see if there's anything stuck to the net. And then what we have found today is there's about sort of 4 to 6 caseless caddis. That's those there. So we will then wash those into the bucket. And also somewhere down here we had an olive. So So they will go into the bucket.
Okay, so we're back on the bank. We'll try and just level up these trays a little bit so that nothing rolls out, and we're going to tip into the larger tray to see what we can identify. It's quite interesting. You start by tipping this out, and first off you often don't see a thing, and it's only after you start looking at it a little bit more you start to see the creatures moving. So I'm starting to take out, and we'll allocate to each type to a different section. Right, there's a damsel, or even a mayfly. Mayfly. Give him a bit more water.
So at the moment we got the flat-bodied Deheps, we've got mayfly.
I've got an olive here, I think.
We've now got one olive.
Caseless caddis.
Caseless caddis.
In there.
A couple of nice caseless caddis there.
When we calculate the results, the counts are only relevant in single units, tens or hundreds. So we don't have to count every single one, but we just need to assess in those sort of quantities. Okay, off we go again with the second bucket. Wealth of caseless caddis, which is brilliant news really. The sedge flies later on.
Lots more olives this month.
Yeah, there are more olives and bigger too. Ah, yeah, that's an olive.
What we have noticed through the past few months as well is the olives are very small, so they're 2 to 3 millimeters.
Tiny.
They look like just a piece of sort of weed or sort of debris in the bottom of the tray, but then they start moving, but they are very small. So we're basically looking for 7 species that are sort of most susceptible to pollution. However, within our kick sampling we do find other insects, fish. We do get sort of, I've just seen one in there, a small worm that we see quite regularly. We have had elvers out of here before.
Elver and a lamprey.
Yeah.
I think that's about it.